It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 p.m, for the sun stopped shining. And the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this was a righteous man." When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their breasts and went away. Good Friday. And as the Son of God hangs dying, so darkness comes at noon. Luke indicates that this was a natural event, an eclipse, but it was also one of the signs of the day of the Lord, as described by the prophet Amos. According to Amos, the sovereign Lord declares, "I will make the sun go down at noon, and darken the earth in broad daylight. I will make that time like mourning for an only son, and the end of it like a bitter day." It is a bitter day indeed, and yet God's plan for redemption is completed in Jesus' death. Matthew mentions an earthquake, perhaps the trigger for the tearing of the temple curtain also mentioned by Luke. This tearing could be another example of a natural phenomenon that is powerfully symbolic, as the barriers between humanity and God are swept aside. A centurion stands on duty, observing the brutal and strange events of that Friday afternoon, and somehow he understands. Luke's version of his declaration is less forthright than Mark's, where he says, "Surely this man was the Son of God," but still shows clearly that this Gentile, this member of the occupying military force, sees that here was no ordinary criminal or rebel suffering a cruel death. This was a righteous man. The crowd see what has happened and express their grief and regret, too late to make a difference. Let us pray to be so attuned to God's purposes in the world that we understand more often than we misunderstand.